what's happened in the last video.
I gotta prepare myself, emotionally and physically. I am ready.
And here is more MrDudeManSir.
Who is marching forward a lot? Is it our pioneer squad? Pioneers in a lot usually march to the canteen in Sovanok camp. I was looking for a place where no one could disturb me, just like what happened before. Just so I could eat in peace, and no bugs in my meat. And for that I have to be at least not the last one to come. Okay, there's still a lot of people here, so you did bad in your endeavor to not get... to eat alone. If you wanted to eat alone, you want to come with a bunch of people here. But anyways, I was pretty sure whatever happens here happens whether I want it or not. Probably. The canteen was full of... That's a good analogy. Olga Dmitrievna was standing at the entrance, guarding like a hawk. Well, Semyon, were you working hard today? You better believe it. Well done, truly well done, and the hardest is yet to come. You bet. Fine, take the seat next to the girls. Okay, I'll happily. She pointed at the table next to the Pilar. Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena. Great. Not a bad company. At least not the worst one. I looked at the meal, and then took it, and I went straight to them. Oh hey! All three of you. Don't mind if I sit here? Question mark. I caught myself sounding a bit scenic. There was no other free places anyway. Yes, of course. Please do. Lena remained silent, looking at me with a slightly aggravated face. Today the meal consisted of a plate of borscht. I suspected some meat being lurking in it, but I had no evidence of that. Some poultry, chances are chicanos domesticanos. Cool. And fried potatoes, a traditional grass compote. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I like that name I can't remember right now because it's so weird, but I like it. I guess I just came to a conclusion that I have no other choice, which means there's no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat though. Like some compote, some potatoes. Coming to the dance party tonight, Slavia asks? No. I remember that I have stuff to do with Lena. He'll come. I got all kinds of places to be, Ulyana. Ulyana said happily. You will come. No! No! Of course, I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena. Ooh. Never mind, I'll be going. I thought I needed to skip the dance and go help her with the boxes thing, but I can go with her. That's great. She replied briefly. See, you should go also, said Slavia as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to put your tailcoat. I'm just imagining like I'm a Neko and I have a tail and I just put a coat on it, but that's not the case. Apparently Ulyana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud. But I really had nothing to wear. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and winter clothes, which would be an inappropriate thing to wear at such a fine dance. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer? Secret. Will it be a little dress just like a kindergarten's matinee? Ulyana turned red and has a little vein popping out of her forehead. It looks like I managed to offend her. No, we wear a biohazard suit just so I don't get any infection from you. That is cold. I wonder what kind of infection you're planning to get from me. Maybe a zombie disease. Enough, you guys. Don't quarrel. Imbecile. I never thought that girl would actually use a word that it's out of my vocabulary, but she did. I believe it's imbecility though. Of course. Looks like Ulyana was highly pleased with her, as she thought. Brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch a cold. It's game for two. What are you implying? Oh, nothing at all. Nothings. I looked away all sly. Do you mean that? She got red again and her veins back. I don't mean nothing. Don't even think about it. Guys! Given that Lena was who interfered, probably was really time to stop. You'll get what you're asking for. Lena just said to stop, so calm down. Will you finally grow wiser? What'd she just do to me? She grabbed her plate of borscht and oh, no you didn't. Oh dear. Oh you little. She jumped up and tried to run away. Oh, looks like I caught her just a little bit with my face. Okay then. But this time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand. Now what? I can't just smash her head against the table? Well, I'd hope not. This might show the last few seconds. Suddenly, Oyana skillfully grabbed a glass full of compote and splashed it all over my face. That way she managed to get my hand off of her. She dashed her off to the counter and I chased her. This resulted in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 crippled pioneers with various injuries and full of exhaustion on both parties. A draw, sort of. It's very bad for those people who got injuries though. A belligerent draw. But too much belligerence. We stood before each other and breathed heavily. That was a thing. I don't want you to behave like this again, little girl. And you... Wait, why are you like blushing? Olga Dmitrieva sneaked up from behind and she looks angry. When you look down on it, such a riot could not be unnoticed. Well, are you satisfied with yourself now, mister? Do you see what you did? Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was about to explode. And who's gonna clean up all the mess, especially those injured pioneers on the ground over there? Exactly what happened. Who I'm asking you who? You... him, replied Oyana with full confidence. Her! I objected less confidently. Both. The camp leader was giving a quietus. A quietus? Okay. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame was more than hers. Although, Yana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face. Beat it. I am not cleaning. Ain't no... Okay, I gotta say it like, ain't nobody got time for that. For the best. This is her fault. He started first. No, it isn't. It's not mine. I didn't start it. You put the plate on my face. I'm not going to sort out all the nonsense. Semyon, go grab a mop, bucket, some cloth. You know, that kind of stuff you clean with out of the closet. And you... She looked at Yana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry for the girl. But not too much, because she is a troublesome little girl. You... Start to collect the broken tableware immediately. As her face seemed to be shocked with some sort of, like, unacceptance of what just happened right now. I don't know why it's such a big deal to her. Olga Dmitrievna took a deep breath and continued. You're nothing but a trouble. How many times have I told you? I decided to skip the lecture and went to the closet that appeared next to the exit. Suddenly, a perfect idea flashed directly in my head. Why wouldn't I just run away from this area? Sure, Olga Dmitrievna was caught us already, and I live with her, so she would probably be mad at me. Of course, I'm not that true pioneer she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Oyana, anyway, she's a principal culprit. It's not like I have nothing better to do in cleaning up the mess here. I have to seek the answer. The truth is out there. Somehow flashed in my mind. You know, most of the time, like, if I were actually choosing this choice about my morals, I would choose help cleaning up. But something tells me that running away will give me something very special. Even though bad things will probably ensue from it. First, I'm going to save. This is the first time I believe I've actually saved while in the middle of recording. Because I usually save afterwards. But hey, I just did it just in case something bad happens and I feel bad about doing this. Run away! The solution came out of thin air. That was from behind me because I ran. While Olga Dmitrievna was scolding Ulyana, I sneaked up to the exit. Thank goodness it was nearby. Getting outside, I hesitated for a few moments and ran to electronic. Hey. You're not Lena. I was expecting Lena to be here. Looks like he was still working till late at the club. Where's the fur? The fur? My shuttle was leaving in 10 minutes. What? Hey, wait. Electronic's words hung in the air behind me. I ran off to the square. It's definitely not the best place to hide. Indeed, in a state of stress or fatigue, I frequently start talking to myself. Well, not really talking, but rather mumbling under my breath. It helps me to concentrate and find the right solution quickly. Okay, where to next? Where should I go? The best place would be one with the least amount of library. Consequently, my way lies to the woods. Or here. This isn't the library, though. Half a minute later, I was already relaxing, sitting on a stump near the forest trail. That's one heck of a getaway. Hope that'll teach Ulyana to behave. Indeed, she's not a child anymore. Well, sad but true. Not a child anymore. Now, a thought crossed my mind. I might have sort of mishandled the whole situation. A fair share of broken tableware is on my account. Moreover, one might mention that I didn't have to engage into this mess at the beginning. It got me thinking. How's the weather? Well, oh, Slavia's asking that. It's good. Slavia stood right before me. How did she manage to sneak up behind me unnoticed? Thank goodness it's Olga Dmitrievna. Fine. That were the words I've managed to squeeze out of myself. Well, that's good. Squeeze it right out. I just thought I'd find you here. Why? I'm not sure. It's just. She looked up at the sky. That's covered by trees. Okay. There are less people around here. Does Slavia really think I have some sort of social phobia? Thinking twice, she actually has a reason to think so. And what are you doing here? Oh, looking for you. She smiled again, but this time her smile looked a bit different. A little friendlier, I guess. Me? Why? Can't you guess? I braced and prepared for a harsh lecture. I understand that you're guilty to a lesser degree than Ulyana. It's the camp leader's assistant defending me. I even feel. Oh, I thought it was gonna be great, but I feel pathetic. Dang, get serious. We're not playing bad cop, good cop here. But granted, you're gonna help her. You will help me. You aren't going to help her, so I'm going to help Slavia do her duties. Saying that, Slavia looked up at the sky yet again. That's covered by trees. I wonder what she is looking for in there. And what do I need to do? We have to reorganize books in the library. It's way better than disciplinary enslavement together with Ulyana. And anyway, it was an offer I could not refuse. I'm at your service, mademoiselle, or madame. She laughed and blushed at the same time, while grabbing her hair. Then followed me, monsieur. In a couple of minutes, we were in the library. All the way, I kept looking in fear of meeting Olga Dmitrievna. You're going to meet her when you go to sleep. She lives in your house with you. You have to meet her eventually. It looks like Slavia didn't notice my anxiety. And still, it's quite odd that she hasn't scolded me. Well, if you're going to continue our analogy, Slavia is definitely a good cop. When we came inside, a gleaming sunlight streamed through the windows of the library, with myriads of dust particles dancing in the beams. This is a special library dust with distinctive smell that you can never confuse with anything. These microscopic pieces of moribund collected works of Marxism and Leninism classics. That's great. That's interesting as well. Does this dust near the fiction shelf smell like a lot to the dust near the books in the physics and chemistry? Probably. You start with those rows. Slavia pointed at the bookshelf near the Lenin sculpted head. Oh, I see it. It's the left. That's a cool thing. I like that bust. Okay, but what exactly do I have to do here in this library? Just remove the books and put them on the floor. We'll dust them and they'll... Okay, I thought we were just gonna like dump them on the floor and leave. Because I could just like tilt the shelves and they'd make them all fall off. But looking at all this dust, reading is barely the pioneer's favorite activity. Any idea where Genya is her name, might be? Don't know. She probably went somewhere. Usually people go somewhere. It's a thing people do. It appears that there are just two places in the world where one can be. Meet Senya, the library and the canteen. And then I ignored her the one time. But you know, I met Lena after that, so that's great. I got the gear. I guess I've never held so many books in my hands simultaneously in my entire life. Anyway, I'm much more used to reading from a computer screen or a tablet. Firstly, there's no need in paying for electronic books, and secondly, you cannot find everything in printed form. How's it going? Asked Slavia, standing behind the bookshelves. It's okay. Goes a little by little. Have you read anything from that? From what? About the communism. Nah, I'm kinda more into historical books. Communism is a historical thing. You should probably have read it then. And adventures. Me too. Well, historical literature wasn't exactly my favorite. It's not mine either. I don't know how someone could read that. But class struggle under socialism was definitely no match for it. Hey, don't go take a grudge for Yana. I do have a grudge. Indeed, I felt my ego mostly recover from the incident at the canteen. Besides, I managed to clean myself from the lunch leftovers in a forest lake. It's not like she's going all out. That spite thing... Out of spite or not, but one should think, though, through his own actions. Whatever. I keep moving around dozens of books written by people totally unknown to me. I'm gonna forget who they are in a minute and I'll never get to know what they're writing about. This is a doom of so many writers, to become a forsaken set of letters in a hardcover on a bookshelf in the library of a non-existent pioneer's camp reality. That was very descriptive. Have you finished? Yeah. That car signaled it. Me too. I had a signaling car as well. Okay, let's do this way. I'll be wiping them up, and you'll be putting them back on the shelves. But I don't remember in what order they were placed before. It's okay, no. Nobody reads them anyway. It looks like she has a smile for every occasion, and always grabs her hair. Only a couple times I've managed to notice slight differences, shades of emotion in that smile, joy, happiness, and sadness. But these shades were so evanescent, I wasn't really sure that I'm not imagining things. This time, her smile looked a little flirty. She always looks a little flirty. At least I wouldn't be reading this stuff. Slavia was wiping the covers with a damp cloth, and I was putting the books back on the shelf. We were a good team. Our job was almost done. Why didn't you take anything from the upper shelves? Upper shelves? I looked up. Sorry, I haven't noticed them, 'cause I'm a short pea. It's alright, we'll just leave them there. They can have all kinds of dust. Wait a moment. I'll bring the chair. Even with my rather considerable stature, I won't be able to get to them. I stood on the chair and proceeded with removing the books from the shelves and passing them to Slavia. After a while, there was only about a dozen books left on the farthest end of the shelf. It looked to me that it won't be hard to reach out. I always felt like taking a larger bite than biting twice, and doing that bite without moving the chair under me became the fatal error as I fell down onto the ground, probably into the pile of books. Or onto her. That's the thing. I should have expected this, actually. I actually... Oh man. I need to get my mind in the gear. Opening my eyes, I found myself on top of Slavia. Are you alive? I got afraid for my life. Even if I'm only 17 now, falling from a chair on a girl is something else. I'm fine. Can you get off of her now, maybe? Her face was only an inch away from mine. Anything broken? As I say, still on top of her? Don't think so. You'd become a rather bad stuntsman. She laughed, still with me on top of her. You bet. I looked into her eyes. Just looked. I wasn't sure what to say. And Slavia either hesitated too, or just took me into the lead. At this rate, something might happen. Her lips were so close to— No! You got another girl in your life called Lena. A natural desire started to wake in my body, but it was right. I had the desire to stand up, but was unable to do it. Slavia was just lying in silence and looking me straight in the eyes. All of a sudden, I noticed the bell sound on the edge of the hearing. It's dinner time. Yeah. Shall we go? Or shall we lie some more? She smiled again, and this time her smile seemed foxy to me, as if she were hinting something. I wonder what the librarian is thinking right now. Let's go. I haven't moved an inch. Well, to get going, you gotta get up first. Well, obviously. It felt like some invisible force was holding me in place. Slavia seemed to recognize that and carefully slipped out from underneath me. Are you going to stay there on the ground where you fell? She laughed. Ah, man. She doesn't even give a crap. At that point, I finally came to my senses and stood up. I am sorry. Gomen nasai. That's okay. But we haven't finished it all. We have to clean up the rest later. But instead I have to help Lena and then go to that dance. So I cannot help you here. I was keeping silence through all the way to the canteen. Slavia rambled on about her slice of the camp and slice of life in the camp, but given that it was all indeed a monologue, I wasn't paying much attention. Oh dear. I saw Olga Dmitrievna on the porch. Don't you want to explain anything to me, young man? As this heavy metal stuff starts playing. That's not good. Now I remember that I've forgotten something. Nope. How was your cleaning duty? Good enough. Yet old Yana told me that it wasn't. That's all her fault then. What did I tell you? I ordered you to clean it up together. And what were you doing? I didn't know what to say, as deep down as I knew she was right. Don't blame him. Semyon was helping me at the library. Oh really? Yeah. Well, it's all great and stuff, but to cut a long story short, you won't be getting to— Ooh. Oh dear. How was that? Why? I protested. However, my protest looked more like a demand for a refill at the prison mess hall. Bold and daring, but still stupid and counterproductive. Hope that will teach you a lesson. At this instant, Olga Dmitrievna looked me at like an ancient Roman legionnaire commander without then a tiny pioneer camp leader. I had no idea how to object her. Forgive him! And take me— That doesn't even make any sense, Slavia. Camp leader took her time to think it over. Alright, if so. Yay! 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 We hurried inside. Well, I'm gonna join the girls. We had a prior arrangement. Take care! She smiled and waved her goodbyes. Seriously, where should I be without her? There were no free places near Slavia, and besides, I wasn't introduced to her friends. It seems though I'll have to share a dinner table with Electronic and Shirk. There were no more places to sit. Hey, remember the last time we met together and you tried to force me to join your club? Yeah, I still hold that against you. What's happening, gentlemen? I accidentally skipped it, but I don't really care. It might be too risky to behave myself that way. Electronic brothers were my primary source of positive emotions. How are you doing? Fine. How are you? Hits and misses. Has anything happened? Lots of things. Mind sharing? Nah, some other time maybe. As you wish. Great conversation. Amazing. Disco, dinner. Electronic, giggled. I know that. It's great. I'm gonna be going there. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna meet Lena, I'm gonna choose to dance with her, and then probably gonna go on a route after that point, and that'll just be great. Who would you want to ask out? I haven't thought about it yet, but I have. I have definitely. What about you? You better not like Lena. It seemed that question caught him off guard. Ask old Yana. Okay. That's better. That's much better. No thanks. Okay, he doesn't like her. I don't know who could. Electronic furiously waved his hands while giving me a weird face. And you, Shurik, gotta ask Alyssa out. Thanks, I'd rather abstain. He looked calmer than his mate. Oh, come on, guys. It will be funsies. And in any case, we've got things to be doing, like playing card games. And failing at making them. We still have to finish the roboto. Oh, that's a marvelous idea. Ask out your robot. Can it dance? It can't even walk yet. It just kind of stands there and has fun. Sure, it probably missed the point completely. Why, it would be a great demonstration for our achievements in front of the camp. And what will we show to them? Oh, you're right. Yeah. They both stare at the plates disappointingly. No. You gotta make that robot amazing so you can show it to everybody. Oh. Well, that was fast. Everybody's gone. What will you wear for the ball? I asked Shuriken Electronic. We don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are. You pointed at his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Why should I care then? Wearing winter clothes is not an option, so I'll just go like that. You should probably dress up, man, and stuff, if you have it. When does it start? After 9 o'clock. I don't have a watch, so I don't even know what time that is. I left the canteen and deeply inhaled fresh evening air. I remember those rare discos I used to go to at school. Hesitation, insecurity, and even fear. I couldn't dance. I didn't even know how to react if someone would invite me. I wouldn't dare to invite someone myself. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it. And it was even more unpleasant to watch others having fun. Not envy at all. More likely was an abrupt feeling that people can enjoy something so odd for me. I thought there was still lots of time till disco so I could sleep a little and be fresh in the evening. Oh, that's great. Coming to the cave leader's cabin, I flopped into the bed and instantly shut my eyes. You have nothing else to do but sleep? That's great. And it's probably past 9 o'clock, so you better be able to go to that dance. And you probably missed the carrying boxes deal. Strangely enough, I got up right on time, even without an alarm. Clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing. Do I even need to help out with those boxes anymore, or did I already help out or something like that? It's weird. I'm not exactly sure. I think I planned it for the future, but it happened a while ago, so I don't remember. I don't know if it's in the future I help her out with those boxes, or if I already did. But hey, there's a dance.